Hey, welcome back to Sports Cards Analysis. I'm JT with another case break simulation. Today we got 2022 Panini Honors Football. Panini Honors is all about the buyback. Little disclaimer here, if you've never seen my videos, I'm going to give you a ton of advice. I'm going to tell you about the teams, the configurations, the prices you might want to pay. If you make those choices, that's on you, not me, and I can't tell you whether you're going to hit or not, but I'm going to tell you that you have a higher probability and a lower probability with certain teams. Panini Honors is all about the buyback. This is a high-end set. They do have organic Honors cards. They have cards that are made for this set, but largely people buy into this set because of the buyback. So what are the focuses here? They're going to be the autographs, so you're going to get originals, and buybacks, which have hand-numbered autograph cards. Now, I don't know what the exact print run or the buyback run is of each of these, so I assumed, and I'll talk a little bit about that. I know because every card in this set is numbered, I knew exactly how many cases they would make. The problem is I don't know if how many one of one buybacks there are, because they don't put that out. So I don't know if it's a one of one, a two of two, a 10 of 10, and then that kind of takes away some of the print run from all the other ones. But if we extrapolate the print run out to exactly what the hits are going to be based on these here, this box break configuration, there's going to be one buyback auto per box, one additional auto per box, one parallel, and one base. Since every card's numbered for the additional autos, the parallels, and the base, I could figure out, well, how many cases are there going to be, and then I was able to figure out how many buybacks there would be, but I don't know what the print runs are, so we just assume everything is a 2 of 2, or 1 of 2, or 2 of 2. So print run to 2. I know that's not ideal because some of these are going to be out of 10, some of them are going to be out of maybe 25, and a lot of them are going to be one of ones. There's no way to know where to take from and because they don't even tell you what the buyback is. They just tell you the player and the team. That's it. So keep that in mind going forward. But obviously this product is for buybacks. You're going to get 4 cards per pack, 1 pack per box, 10 boxes per case. So you're only getting 40 cards. And these breaks are going to be so fast, maybe 10 minutes. If you're a good breaker who doesn't spend too much time drooling over things, you're going to have very quick breaks. You probably do a lot of these. So Panini Honors, let's just keep going. This is all kind of my source here is Beckett. Here's what a buyback looks like. It's going to be an older card. Like this is 2007 Donruss Threads, and it's autographed. And then it's got a hand number here down on the side, 1 of 1. So while this card itself was previously worth about $8 and no one cared about it, it wasn't numbered, it didn't have a foil numbering or anything, it was just a piece of garbage card that people put in the discount box, it is now worth a fortune because it is a Drew Brees autograph 1 of 1. So there's what buybacks really are. But Panini Honors does make their own cards for this set, so there are new cards that you can't find anywhere else, and this is an example of them. Looks like there's going to be a lot of sticker autos in this set, guys, so and gals, prepare for that. There's going to be a lot of sticker autos. Nothing we can do about that. It cheapens it a little bit, but I think Panini's going to start doing some new things with these stickers to try to make them look a little bit better. So there's your Peyton Manning auto, and here I think is the base rookie set. It doesn't have an auto or memorabilia. Some of these are parallels that are numbered, some of them are not. But oh no, they all are numbered. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. All cards in Honors are numbered. So no card, like I say here, in 2022 Honors has more than 99 copies. And this is an online exclusive. That's another thing I forgot to say. So I kind of started this video off bad, but I have to say this is a high-end product. Every card's numbered, including the buybacks, and it's an online exclusive. I don't even know how that's going to work with breakers, but it's going to be expensive. So it's about $9,000 for a case of this. And based on what my calculations were, here's the breakdown of that $9,000 case distributed by the teams. Far and away, the best team in this product is going to be the Jets. You're going to have a ton of autographs from the Jets, 1,291 good buybacks. You got Keyshawn Johnson in this set. I think LaDainian Tomlinson might have a card on the Jets in this set. And you got Joe Namath, obviously. Steelers, Commanders, Patriots, and I've combined the Redskins and such into that. So, and the Oilers into the Titans. So there's some value there. It's a $9,000 case. I have a feeling that a lot of these breakers are going to do random breaks because of the price. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you look at the disparity between the top team having 1,291 different cards autographed versus even just number 10 having 529, and if we go down to like team number 30, they have 0. Team number 29 having 200. So team number 1 having 1,000 more autographs than the bottom team. What that tells you is that if you get into a random break, and that random break is, let's say, $400 per team, you get the Bengals, you're definitely screwing yourself over, because the probability of getting a hit is so insanely low that you're basically paying money for nothing. And yes, there are Bengals cards in this set. They exist. But again, in order to make this not gambling, you have to pay for probability. You're not paying for the cards because you don't know whether it's Schrodinger's cat. Those cards are both in the case and not in the case at the same time. So instead of paying for the cat, Schrodinger's cat, or the Bengals card, you're paying for the probability of getting a Bengals card. So by buying into a random break for, let's say, $400, what you're doing is you're paying about $300 more than the probability is showing you should be paying. So I'm just on high-end stuff like this, don't buy random case breaks. It's a terrible decision. Spend the money on the better teams than would you rather waste $400 on a team that doesn't hit, or spend $400 extra on a team that does hit, and it might give you some return value. So there you go. So here's teams 1 through 10 as far as the autograph print runs and how many they're going to have and the price you should probably be looking out for. And then here is teams 11 through 20 and 21 through 30. If you're a breaker and you use these to price your stuff, I applaud you, because you're pricing your stuff based on probability. I've seen some real bad pricing schemes out there, and I've taken advantage of them myself. Total for non-auto parallels. I don't think anyone's buying this set for the parallels, but I'm going to show you what they are. The Commanders have the most parallels, and there's the prices you should pay. I'm not even going to go into the other teams. And then for buybacks, this is another important one. Who has the most buybacks? The Cowboys have the most buybacks. So remember, you're going to get 1 buyback per box, 10 buybacks per case. And so the Cowboys, and it's not that much difference between the Cowboys and the Steelers. So those are going to be the 2 teams that you should really try to seek out and buy. But there are some decent cards here. But again, if we look at like team number 30 or 29, we're looking at like the Lions. They only have 140 buybacks in this set, whereas we're talking about 600 for the Cowboys. So again, pay for probability, not the card you haven't hit yet. You're not doing that. This isn't, you're not paying for stuff that you don't own. You're paying for probability. And so let's just go back to, oh man, I messed that up. Let's just go back to the first one, and I'll show you, man, I just gave away the secrets of the scoring system. No, I'm just kidding. There's teams 11 through 20 for the buybacks, and there's teams 21 through 30 of the buybacks. And now let's move on to product strength. So what I do here is I figure out by player what is the strength of the checklist. So 1 or 2, you might lose money or not sell that card. A 4 or 5 means that you will make a profit. I grade all the players, and then I aggregate those players by team, and I give the product a score, and I give the teams a score, and then I tell you, instead of paying like the table I just showed you, all those metrics I just showed you, those were distributing the $9,000 cost of the case equally across all the autographs or buybacks. This is going to distribute the cost of that case across each team based on both the number of autographs and the strength of the players signing those cards. So that, and for the buybacks, the exact same thing. So what this is going to tell you is who's the strongest team in the checklist, who are the weakest teams. 52% of the autographs and the buybacks in this fall between a 4 or a 5. That's moderately low. I mean, a $9,000 case is freaking crazy. We're approaching like transcendent prices here, and this is not a transcendent price. I know that these buybacks are rather expensive, but like as you saw with the Drew Brees card that I showed earlier, they're buying garbage sometimes. I'm going to be honest here. Sometimes they're buying good cards. You're going to get real gems in the buybacks. But sometimes you're getting like a crappy relic card that no one wanted. Like kids throw those away. And then they sign them, put 1 of 1 on it, and now all of a sudden you have a $9,000 case. It's kind of weird to me that this is ever a thing, but I understand it. how can you call it a 1 of 1? It makes no sense to me. Because Drew Brees could have signed a million Donruss Threads cards for people who brought him to practices or games in the past. It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, this is low, 52% for a $9,000 case. I actually think every card in this should be autographed for $9,000. It's kind of a cop out to me that, one, you're doing buybacks and you're selling them for $9,000 a case, and two, you got stickers on some of these. $9,000 for sticker autos? You should be ashamed of yourselves. The hockey people, I'm going to tell you right now, Panini, that if you ever get into hockey, the hockey people will light you up, and I love it. I look at my comments in my videos, and I love that the hockey collectors just rail on Upper Deck when they put stickers in high-end products. If you put stickers in a $9,000 product, you're trash, and that sucks. I'm sorry, Panini, but that is a garbage move. Buybacks are the top highlight of this product, and the graded buybacks obviously saves you an enormous amount of time, because some of these cards, they don't have a lot of value long term, so you want to get rid of them fast. If you can avoid the grading process, well, that's great. The total product strength is a 3.6. That's pathetic for a case that costs $9,000. If you have a case that costs over, I'm going to say $6,000, and it is not a 4 or more on my developed scale. Now, Panini doesn't have any way of knowing what my scale is because I haven't shared it, and I'm not going to. But if you can't get your product to a 4 and you're charging that much for a case, then you've made what I consider to be a pathetic product. That doesn't mean that this isn't worth anything. That doesn't mean that Honors doesn't have value. It certainly does. It just means that Panini might have phoned in a little bit of this high-end product. The Jets have the best checklist by far. The strength of their checklist is the best when you consider value of the rookies, the veterans, the retired players, Joe Namath. How many cards, sorry for the little voice crack there, how many cards are signed by high-value players? The Jets, the Steelers, the Commanders, the Patriots, they have the most. And keep in mind that in a lot of cases, we're talking historical stuff here. So you might associate Tom Brady with the Buccaneers now, but because of the buybacks, the New England Patriots might have more Brady cards. They might have Teddy Bruschi, or they might have, some pretty good players in there. Commanders being the same. So keep that in mind. Typical teams you might fall in love with, not fall for like a trick, but fall in love with. You go kind of try to think back to the old days, the Cowboys having so many buyback cards in this set. You might be thinking like Emmitt Smith and players like that, not so much just Dak Prescott. So if we're looking at by auto strength, here's 1 through 10. This does not include the buybacks. This is just organic autos that they put in the checklist. So these will be mostly people from the current teams. And then here's 21 through 30. Now let's do it for the buybacks. The top team in the buybacks again is the Cowboys, and that is because they do have just better autos on the buyback cards. There's 1 through 10. There's 11 through 20, and there's 21 through 30 for the buybacks. So keep in mind, these lower price teams, Jacksonville Jaguars, don't get carried away thinking that you're going to get some stud when you're not. Probability, that's what we're paying for. Remember, you're paying for probability. I'm not even going to bother with the parallels because no one cares. This product was really hard to do the interest over time. So here's my suggestion. If you get a buyback, I think you have a lot of time. I think you have pretty much infinite amount of time to sell the buybacks. If you get the honors cards that are signed, especially if they're stickers, get rid of them immediately. Don't even bother getting them graded. Just sell them. Take your profit and run, because I don't think that any of these cards are going to be iconic, and I don't think that these cards, the honors cards, don't have the stay power or the recognizability, the recognition. I don't know. They're not recognizable amongst all the other cards that are out there. So keep that in mind. Now, the checklist strength that I've developed at 1 through 3, I should probably move this chart above this last one, but there are the most in this set are going to be those mid-tier guys, those 3s. You might, who would you have here? Maybe a Ryan Fitzpatrick would be a 3. Someone that you're going to get exactly as much money as you think you're going to get. Whereas like a 4, you might think, 4 might be like a Dak Prescott, I think, just because you might say, well, I think that this auto is going to be worth $100 and you might get $120 for him. But then a 5 is going to be, more of a lot of the rookies that are breakouts. But, your Tom Brady's, the guys who you're like, well, this auto technically should be worth like 125, but on a good day, you might get 225. So more profit, and you might actually sell it very quickly. There could even be a bidding war for it. So on my scale, the majority of the players are on a 3. And because it's a higher end product, you are seeing more. And the buybacks kind of tilt it more towards the 4s and the 5s. But again, this is almost unacceptable for a case that costs $9,000. And so for the master checklist, let's just look at all cards, buybacks, autographs, base cards, everything. The team with the most cards in this set is going to be the Jets, then the Commanders, Steelers, Patriots. The teams with the least amount of cards, well, all of the multi-cards. And this is a buyback here. This one here is a buyback. It's got a bunch of guys on it. And then you got like Kansas State Wildcats. So some college teams. The Chicago Bears actually have the lowest number of cards in this set. Now, I did check that there is a Walter Payton card. But, man, the Bears don't have very many cards in here at all. Very low. Then the Bengals. So keep that in mind. Those are the total cards. There's 1 through 10. I'll just show you the next page just in case you're curious. There's 11 through 20 for the top teams with cards. But by far, the Jets, Commanders, Steelers have the most. And then number of cards by print run. Now, again, let me make this absolutely clear. I don't know which buybacks are 1 of 1s because they don't put that out. So what I wound up doing was put all the buybacks in the two category, just because that filled out the number of cases that I think they're going to produce. And that's pretty accurate because all the cards in this set are numbered. So we should know how many cards they're going to produce. So there should be, for buybacks in general, there should be like this many, 8,092. I don't know how that will be distributed across 1 of 1s, 1 of 2s, 3s, 4, 5, whatever. So there's 169 1 of 1s, and those are just for the honors cards. Those are cards made for the honors set. There's going to be a bunch of 1 of 1s for the buybacks, but they're going to be listed as 2 of 2. So let's keep that in mind as we go through the rest of this video. So if you are seeking out those 1 of 1s, the teams for the honors produced 1 of 1s, the Jets, Commanders, Lions. If you're seeking out buybacks, it's going to be pretty much similar to the buyback chart that I showed earlier because that's just where they're situated. The Cowboys have the most. So the Cowboys are going to actually have only 1 of 1 in the honor set, but a ton of buyback 1 of 1s, I'm sure. So there's that. It's kind of hard to determine how this should be read, but basically this is all the organically or honors produced ones. These are going to be all your buybacks. And so there's teams 1 through 10, and then here's teams 11 through 20, and here's teams 21 through 30 for print runs. Now, what is the rarest card in the set? Well, obviously it's going to be a buyback, so this table's not as relevant as it could be, but let's just say that you are getting you're in it for the honors cards and not the buybacks. Well, the card with the least number of actual cards is going to be the honors rookie signature purple. There's a print run of 5. That means there's only 1 of them, and it's print run to 5, which means there's 5 of them. Then for the rookie signature purple, there's 2 of different ones numbered to 5, which gives you 10. So those are going to be the rarest cards in the set. This is regardless of player, just the rarest cards. Now I do simulate the case breaks. I simulate 20 case breaks, and then I show you the 20th case, then I show you all 20 cases. So for that, I got a ton of buybacks. I did not get a 1 of 1. This is sorted by print run. So in this, I did not get a 1 of 1 for the honors cards, but I probably did get one for the buybacks. And they have a couple different style of buybacks. They have the graded buybacks. They have the recollection or recollection. I'm not sure how they're pronouncing it. And then they have another just kind of buybacks base. So I got some buybacks of Deshaun Watson, Bill Romanowski, Derwin James, James Conner, Javon Kearse, Jordy Nelson. So this gives you a kind of an idea of the type of players you can expect in the buybacks. And then, here's some, like I got a parallel out of 5. I got a Brock Purdy autograph. Nice. That's cool. Make some money off that. I know a lot of people are super interested in Brock Purdy, and he's not in a lot of sets that I've seen. So there you go there. That's just an example of a case break simulation. That doesn't mean that that's what you're going to get. But when I did the case break simulation, I did get 6 Packers cards, 5 Titans, 3 Falcons, 3 Jets. So even though the Jets have the most cards or they have the highest value, They fell fourth in that. Remember, you're only going to get 40 cards. Now, if you hear the tornado sirens going off, it's because it's the first Monday of the month. So sorry for that. It's in the background, and I don't feel like re-recording this whole video. So there's no panic there. So even though the cards that are represented as the most in the set um, were by the teams I showed earlier, I didn't get those in this one case, and that happens because there's anomalies. So then there's the teams I got the least of. Didn't get any one of ones, which is what this table would show. And then I got all these buybacks, these recollections here for the one case. Now for 20 cases, this is again not including the buybacks, it took 20 cases just to get 3 one of ones. That's pretty rare. That's very rare. So you're only getting 40 cards per case, but your chances of getting a one of one are actually pretty low. So if you're a person that's seeking out those rare one of ones, you might want to pass on this product, even though the buybacks probably will give you something. So here's some. I got this graded original of Dalvin Cook. That's nice. And I got some recollection collections of these guys. There's tons. There's 10 pages of these. Mitch Trubisky, like, what a disappointment it is to have your hit be Mitch Trubisky. No offense to Mitch Trubisky, but I mean, like, you're paying so much money for this. And look at that. That's so weak. Oh, that just bothers me. It bothers me that they put these names and then they charge you $9,000 for this case. What a joke. And then, so for all 20 cases, this includes buybacks and autographs and base and parallels and everything. The Jets in 20 cases gave me 63 cards. In 20 cases, I got 61 Steelers, 54 Lions, 52 Titans. And then let's see who the teams with the least number was. Well, obviously the Bears and the Bengals because they have very few cards. Here's the teams with the least. And again, teams with the most. Screenshot that. Use that in your purchases. I did get those 3 one of ones. 2 of them are from the Steelers. 1 of them from the Falcons. For buybacks, we got to go over here. The teams I got the most of in a 20 case break simulation were the Steelers, the Cowboys, the Browns, Patriots. So if you're looking for those buybacks, those teams might actually give you the best odds because this is simulating 20 case breaks. This is just randomly pulled in as the buyback cards. And these are the teams with the least number of buybacks in the cases. So there you go. Now, cards by type. I obviously split up the autographs and the buybacks. So Titans give us the most autographs for the honors cards, the cards produced for this set. For the buybacks, though, we got the most of the Steelers, Cowboys, Browns, Patriots. And then we can go to who do we get the least of. And there they are, the Commanders, Eagles, the Wildcats, because they only have one, I think. Niners, Colts, blah, blah, blah. You get it. And I'll do the same for the autographs. For the ones produced by Panini for this set, there's the teams that I got the most of. And there's the teams I got the least of. A bunch didn't get any. And this is for 20 cases. Keep that in mind. My overall recommendation here, I think the design is nice, but the Honors does not compete with Panini by and large. Mosaic, Prism, the nicer stuff, Illusions even is much nicer than this. So what I'm saying here is there's better sets to collect base, and I disagree wholeheartedly that Panini should even have a base set in this $9,000 high-end set. That's total crap to me. Don't do that, Panini. What are you doing? The auto checklist is good. The buyback checklist is very good, but there are scrubs. You're going to find some scrubs in there, and you're going to have some disappointment. But there's likely going to be some really, really huge hits in there. Probably some booklets even, some really cool stuff. I have no idea. The online exclusivity is interesting because I don't actually know how breakers do that. But you can find cases on Steel City, David Adams, etc. I just think this is too expensive, and they put too little focus on the high-end nature. So I'm going to basically give a recommendation that most collectors stay away from honors, just simply because I don't think you're going to make your money back. Casual collectors, don't buy it. Collectors on a budget, don't buy it. People who love getting graded cards or getting cards graded, go ahead and buy into the breaks because you might actually just get a bunch of graded cards already. Investors, I guess, go ahead and buy into hobby and breaks, but I'm telling you, the honors cards themselves probably aren't going to do much for you, especially if they're stickers. Set builders, avoid it. Kids, avoid it. Don't buy random team breaks of this product. I can't stress that enough. Don't buy random team products. Don't buy random team breaks. Don't even, if you're a breaker, don't sell random team breaks. That's kind of just a terrible thing to offer, considering like you're going to have to charge somebody $400 and that you're going to then assign them the Bears. That sucks. Team breaks, yes, buy them. Pay for probability. That's the point here. Pay the price that it costs to get a high probability of a hit. That's 2022 honors. Pretty much, I think this product sucks and is too expensive. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.